Leave the rest to me.
Ah.
Oh no! If this continues, we'll go bankrupt.
Hi, I'm Keiichi Sato. I'm currently a temp assigned to manage a system at a certain agency. The client company was conducting an internal systems review, and we were swamped with migration work. Miss Taira, could you please install a new management system quickly? I'll have to go out now for a business meeting. Sales have been sluggish lately. I want to check the work status of all the employees, but the current employee management system is difficult to use.
Sato knows a lot about the systems, so I'll ask him to do the installation work.
Sato's performance isn't great. Honestly, it's just average. We probably shouldn't leave this to him. We're better off giving big tasks like this to people who have a solid track record with everything they do. If you look at this, Miss Taira, it can easily be done.
Yes, sir. I'll try.
If you want to install a system, I'll do it if you want.
I studied a little bit of IT stuff at T University, so this should be a piece of cake for me.
Well, I think you should leave it to Sato.
I just have to do it like this, right? Leave the rest to me.
Ah.
Huh, Sato?
I came to take a look because I was worried. Whoa, you look totally beat.
It's alright. I'm figuring it out as I go. I'm about to finish. All I have to do is click. Ah, what's this? The black screen and error messages keep coming up. What should I do? Is it a bug? Oh no! If this continues, we'll go bankrupt.
Let me see for a second. Okay, I fixed it.
Oh, thank goodness.
Is there some kind of problem here? It looks like she replaced the whole system in one go.
I thought maybe that would make things faster.
Installing a new system is fine, but if we replace everything, that will erase the entire system that protects all kinds of information. So we need to back up the data before we do that. Luckily, we do have backups. If all of that were to disappear too, it would take days to restore everything.
If that were to happen, we'd really go bankrupt.
Sato is used to managing the systems, and he's very careful in his work. That's why I told you to leave it to him. Why didn't you leave it to him?
Mr. Hinata insisted that I should do it.
Did the installation fail?
Yes, Sato saved me in the nick of time. I almost lost all the information registered in the system.
What the hell? Then why didn't you leave it to him in the first place?
Huh? Because Mr. Hinata, you said that Sato's no good.
You really need to start thinking for yourself. Sure, it depends on the situation. But if you had checked out Sato's company evaluation yourself to see if he was the right person to ask, this wouldn't have happened. Hold on, Mr. Hinata. Are you saying Sato's evaluation isn't that great in the company? There were a lot of concerns with his management skills. How though? He has the skill and knowledge required for this stuff. He even has systems-related certifications. Maybe from your point of view, he doesn't necessarily stand out. But Sato has strong attention to detail and is precise in his work.
Even today, he quickly restored data that I nearly completely wiped.
Luckily, I was able to notice right away, so it was only a simple process. Sato is not only doing system maintenance and repairs, but also taking care of many other things. Hey, Sato, show him the file that has the data. Yes. So, actually...
Data?
When I was looking at the employee management system, I noticed something strange. Let me just pull up last month's data.
What? There are big difference in the amount of work each person does.
Yes. It's not good for people to get tired, so I thought it was important to talk to everyone more often. So I consulted with HR so that I could speak to each person directly. You should leave that sort of thing to Miss Taira. You shouldn't do any work outside of your responsibilities. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry I couldn't figure things out myself either.
It's been a long-standing issue that headquarters can't fully grasp the workload and attendance situation of staff in the field.
Yeah, I've had staff bring up problems like sloppy handovers at care services more than once, but nothing's really changed.
When you look at the data, it makes those issues easier to see, too. If we look at the care service department's data, we can see that employee replacement times often line up with high workload periods.
Doesn't that mean if we move the shift around a little, it might make it easier to do the takeover?
Yes, perhaps. I had assumed that the recent decline in sales was due to inefficient staff operations. It doesn't seem to be just a matter of efficiency. I'll install a new system again later. With the new management system, it has become easier to compare sales for each service. I've been calling for a reform of the system for a long time. There was a lot of opposition, and it ended up being scrapped. I was opposed to the idea when I heard that our old internal systems would be integrated into one. But if it's going to be convenient, you'll have to explain it to me. I'm sorry, I've tried to explain it many times, but even my superiors kept pushing back on me, saying we shouldn't make any big changes to the system. Also, there were a lot of questions about the operation, and some of the systems have been developed by other companies too. So it was very difficult to manage things. But thanks to Sato running around here and there, trying his best to explain everything, and frantically trying to manage the situation at hand, our superiors finally understood. And now that the new system is easy for anyone to use, I hope people will make more use of the data. Look, we can't be everywhere. But hey, numbers don't lie, right? Taira, I know you're busy, but you really should see the situation for yourself. And make your own judgment instead of just taking Mr. Hinata's word for it.
Yes, I'll be careful.
Mr. Hinata, were you aware of Sato's actual performance at work? No, not really. I believe that in any job, it's the accumulation of small things that really counts. I can't stand the fact that Sato isn't getting the credit he deserves. Thank you, Tokyo. No worries. It's just that you never say anything yourself, so I just couldn't help it. I'm sorry. I thought that if I said anything, it would be too much. Let's all share our opinions as employees working in the same company, and do the job that needs to be done. You really need to feel confident in what you do, no matter what's going on. It's not just about being good at the technical stuff.
I really didn't understand anything. I can't go on like this. I'll have to change my way of thinking. There's a lot I'll have to reflect on.
Tokyo often has arguments with his superiors in the administrative department, so don't worry too much.
Isn't he just talking about developing the new system? Tokyo's always super serious about work. I'm not stressed or whatever, but I feel kinda bad about missing what Tokyo said, and that whole thing with Mr. Hinata.
Me too?
Yes, even you weren't able to evaluate Sato properly.
Well, yes.
I was too overconfident in my abilities. In reality, I didn't understand anything. I've just been asking Mr. Hinata what to do all the time.
Taira, you're still young. When in doubt, an experienced person like me should show you the right way, right?
The right way, huh? I wonder if you really are always teaching me the right stuff. Mr. Hinata, you have always been a kind uncle who has taught me many things since I was little. That's why I trust you. From now on, let's properly evaluate our employees with our own eyes.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that what Sato and Tokyo says is always true. Think about that.
Okay, I don't even know what to do anymore. Mr. Hinata does know a lot about work, so I was convinced that if I did as he said, nothing would go wrong. But then I realized doing that would blind me from the truth. Thinking about all that made me even more confused. That's why I wanted to hear what you think, Sato.
I see. I didn't have much confidence in the beginning either, so I kept asking many questions to Tokyo. Sometimes I got scolded and was told to think about it myself. Maybe we end up letting others make decisions, because we lack the effort, confidence, results, and ability.
Maybe. I thought I could do the job because I had studied a lot, but in reality, I couldn't do anything.
Your academic background is the result of your efforts, and it should give you confidence. But since you're not sure about what you think, you just go with whatever Mr. Hinata says, right?
Yeah, you might be right there.
While I sometimes lack confidence in my thoughts, I trust that the data tells the truth. I manage the system myself and visually check that the system is working properly. I have absolute confidence in it.
I wonder if I have anything I can believe in. I have great faith in the people who support the company, including you, Sato, of course.
Huh? That's a bit embarrassing.
I feel a little bit better now. I feel like I've gained something.
Hey, I have a question regarding the work attitude of Nagisa Nakamoto, a staff member at a housekeeping service.
You mean that person that has a reputation of being polite and helpful?
Yeah, she used to be fine, but lately she's gotten way too polite? Or even to the point where she's a bit pushy, and keeps butting in when she doesn't need to. A lot of people want someone else to take over. We've been getting less job requests lately too, so we should probably reassess her evaluation.
I see. I'll think about it. I want to be objective here, not just go with Mr. Hinata's take. Sato, can you pull up the employee system for me?
Of course.
Wow. So this is the new system.
Yes, it is. I'll install it into your computer later. This is Miss Nakamoto's data. Her attendance record shows that she's never been late nor have been absent from work.
There don't seem to be any particular complaints reported. All I can see are comments from the dispatchers about how helpful she was and how they'd like to work with her again. I don't see any reviews here that mention her being pushy or anything. But over the past few months, I've noticed that other staff members have been taking over some of her responsibilities. I wonder why.
It appears Miss Nakamoto is handling the handover to other staff members independently.
What? What does it mean?
In her daily work report, she noted that halfway through the contract, a family had asked her to focus on cooking meals.
I see. The staff member who replaced Ms. Nakamoto has been highly praised for her cooking skills. But Ms. Nakamoto is better at cleaning. So basically, she probably passed the work on to people who specialize in different areas, based on what each family needs.
That's highly likely.
I wonder if she'll be okay with her number of requests suddenly decreasing next month.
Let's see. It looks like the service representative is reassigning Miss Nakamoto's requests to other people.
What? Why did such things happen? No way! I was advised by Mr. Hinata to review the evaluations of these staff members as well. Can you go through the data on all of them?
Yes. Everyone is highly evaluated by their clients, but it shows that one day the number of requests they receive suddenly decreases.
Like, all of our people think for themselves and get stuff done on their own. That's something we should be praising, not complaining about.
Going shopping, taking care of the pets, these are kind people.
The most important thing is to be considerate of others. That's the current policy of our company.
I see. Now, let's look at the data for employees who are highly rated within the company.
Yes, please.
Folks aren't too happy with him. He comes across as pretty cold and strictly business, and it's been creating problems.
But the number of requests continues to grow. Is Mr. Hinata still evaluating people according to the manual?
The manual?
Yes, it's an old manual that dates back to when the company was founded. I once heard from Mr. Hinata that there are still some employees that are following it. I'm pretty sure the manual also included a rule that housekeeping service staff should only do cleaning, laundry, and cooking.
Indeed, when we look at the data, we can see that requests are concentrated on employees who only do basic housework, and it seems that they're totally overworked.
We decided to revise the manual because it wasn't suitable for the company anymore. All the documents were discarded a few years at my father's and my request.
Let's check with Mr. Hinata directly. Indeed. I still instruct my subordinates to follow that manual, and I value employees who comply with it.
Don't you remember? We discussed that the company would never grow if it were tied to old ideas. Why did you do this?
I think it's the best way to do things because it's logical and improves work efficiency.
But the workload was unevenly distributed among some employees, and many of them quit, didn't they?
It goes without saying that those who deliver results earn favorable evaluations. Look, I always give Taira the right advice straight from the manual, and you followed it every single time.
What?
For example, You're evaluating employees overall by looking at their data metrics and assessments from each department head, right?
Yes, I evaluate employees based on their performance and contribution to the company.
That's exactly how it's written on this manual.
What?
The existing protocol prioritizes procedural aspects and individual perspectives. However, empirical data and numerical evidence offer superior precision. Sato is right. Data never lies. No, that's not what I meant.
I was just doing as Mr. Hinata always told me to, so I didn't realize either.
This is proof that everyone feels much more comfortable with the manual.
Are you saying that the manual is necessary?
Tyra, be mindful of your feelings.
My feelings?
I understand that you feel gratitude towards Mr. Hinata, but don't be dependent on him. It's just like the time when I was too dependent on Tokyo.
Yes, up until now, I had always thought that what Mr. Hinata said is always right, so I asked him everything. But of course, that wasn't going to change anything, whether it be the company or myself.
There's no need to force yourself to change.
I'm hoping we can build a workplace where everyone thinks and contributes instead of just doing what they're told. Look, the numbers check out, and our way of evaluating works fine. The old manual wasn't too bad either. But hey, we should really look at our people from different perspectives, and give them credit for everything they bring to the table. So Mr. Hinata, please listen to what I have to say too. Let's continue to improve the manual together.
I see. I'm going to resign.
What? Why?
I have always believed that the manual was correct. Things don't go my way, there's no need for me at this company. Bye then.
Mr. Hinata?
So yeah, that's what happened. I couldn't get the grasp of the situation at all. I also should have shared more information.
From now on, let's discuss and draw conclusions based on the data.
Yes, it's a more free atmosphere than before.
While it seems Mr. Hinata is taking the initiative with work at his new company, apparently sales haven't been doing too well. From what I heard, Mr. Hinata was always out of the office and left all the administrative work to his subordinates.
What?
I didn't know that until I heard from another employee.
I guess that self-centered confidence comes from his so-called skills.
Also, I told the dispatcher about your achievements, and they said they would review your evaluation and raise your salary.
Really? Yeah. I'm glad your efforts paid off. Thanks for watching till the end.
And don't forget to subscribe.